Hello.
Hey, hey, Dick. What's the benefit for you of having had time with Doug in the past, and both here in KC?
The benefit is we know each other. I didn't have time with him in KC. He was my quarterback coach my rookie year, so I spent a lot of time. No, you're good. I spent a lot of time with him as a rookie, and he really helped me advance my game, the knowledge of the game, and just working on one-on-one, you sort of get to see someone's mentality, their work ethic, their personality. So that was a big reason coming back here. Obviously, playing for Coach Peterson, I've loved every moment of it. He's a great head coach, so that chemistry is key. Even going to a game like the other night, like he knows my personality. He knows he can call whatever play he wants, and I'll be able to run it.
Nick, what are your thoughts now that you know this is your team the rest of the way here?
We just keep rolling. Obviously, this has been a really tough year with injuries on our team. I mean, you got Peter, Sproles, Maragos, Hicks, Carson, Sturgis. I mean, I was just sort of looking back. It's been wild, but I think the big thing with this team, the resiliency of guys stepping up and continue to play because it's about our team. We've overcome those, and it's because guys believe in one another. Carson is such a huge part of this organization and will be for a long time, and he's done so much for his team, on the field and in the locker room. And a big part of coming here was, here to support him. Well, my job right now is to step in that huddle and keep this thing rolling, and that's what I plan on doing.
How do things change for you now?
I'm not doing scout team. I'm running the team. I'm running the offense. I'm going out there, and that's really it. I mean, we prepare the same way. Carson, Nate, and I do everything together, all the preparation. The only thing different is, the reps, and we just got to keep it rolling. That's it.
In the summer, your arm, your elbow hurt after extended work. How does it feel now? And these past few months, what have you done to manage it?
Honestly, it feels amazing. It's been a non-issue, and I've really just been back to being myself. I mean, there hasn't really been anything. I mean, I do my normal recovery stuff, but every athlete does that. So I'm ready to throw every single pass, and it's exciting to have your arm full strength and not have an issue with it. The training staff's done an awesome job with it in the preseason to get me to the point where it's been a non-issue.
How much is the offense, this offense, which is kind of based in what Andy Reid had done in 2012, how much has it evolved over these last 5 years?
Since 2012, it's definitely evolved quite a bit. I think football in general in the NFL has evolved. A lot of it's the run-pass option. I know when Chip came to the league, a lot of the zone read, the run-pass. I mean, that stuff's been around, but just the different ways of getting to it. The offense is definitely different. And then even when I was in Kansas City with Coach Reid, it had evolved from 2012, and then coming here, it's always evolving. There's always new ways to do things, and there's a lot of creative minds in football, which coaches can think of new ways to do things.
You mentioned the RPOs. Was with Chip the first time you really ran those, or did you do any of them in college?
In college, the spread system, that's where I had done it. With Chip, it was a little different, and even here it's a little different. It's just the game. Coaches have different ways of doing it, but it's become a huge part of the game nowadays.
What have the conversations been like with Carson these last 2 days, and how much do you anticipate him helping you?
Oh, he'll be a huge help. Right now, I mean, I just, as his teammate, someone who cares a lot about him, you hurt, but you're there to support him, pray for him. And we've had, he was around today, just having conversations with him, and just how grateful, we are that we've all, like Nate, him, and I have got to spend so much time together developing that relationship to where, he's going to come back stronger than ever. I know his mentality, him as a person, him as an athlete. This is just part of his journey. And, we're all continuing to pray for him. And he's going to be instrumental every single week here on out, still with this team.
When you were in Kansas City, you knew Alex was coming back when he was healthy, and then in St. Louis, I know you were looking over your shoulder as far as starting. This is kind of the first time in a long time. You're the guy. As long as this team is playing, does that increase your comfort level just knowing this is your job now?
I'm going to be who I am. I'm not really going to let that affect. It's easy to let those thoughts go in, but I'm really just going to play football like I know how to play football. I'm going to prepare. We have a great team that stepped up and made big plays. I mean, you look at the game the other night, defense comes up big. Chris Long, strips Jared, and then Rodney McLeod picks it up. I mean, Jake did a great job kicking field goals. It's just one of those things where I'm gonna go out there, I'm gonna play aggressive, I'm gonna play like I know how to play, and that I've done throughout my career, and do what I can do to help this team win this game.
How much different do you expect the offense to look with you in there as opposed to Carson?
I don't expect it to look different at all.
Why is that?
Because this is our offense. This is the Eagles' offense. This is the one that is the DNA of this team, and we're going to do what we do. We have so many tremendous players on offense that can do a lot of different things. So we just have to go out there and execute, have a great week of work, and just keep moving.
You mentioned having conversations with Carson. What did he say to you? What's his message to you now as you kind of take over?
Oh, I mean, basically, he's fully supportive. I mean, like I said, we've been together this whole year, preseason OTAs and everything, and that he's going to be there every step of the way, and I know he's got my back. So, and that'll never change, and that goes both ways.
The no huddle is a big part of this offense. You certainly did it with Chip, but it's different now in that it's not speed. You can actually check in and out of plays. What kind of comfort do you have in being able to go to the line and see the defense and then change to another play if
I mean, as a quarterback, you love it. You love it. You love to have a head coach that does stuff like that. I mean, I think switching up the speeds of the game is tough for a defense because that's something that they have to work on in practice throughout the week, and you can sort of get them on their heels. And to have a head coach that's confident in the quarterback and confident in that, I mean, as a quarterback, you want to go out there, and it's fun to choose your own plays at times. And, you obviously you trust the plays called, but sometimes you have an option to choose and get a completion or, I try not always to check runs, but I'll check runs. I like to throw it, but it's great.
Are there plays, though, like getting back to Dave's question, are there plays where you're more comfortable running as opposed to maybe Carson that might be more suited,
No, I mean, I feel comfortable in this offense. I love this offense. We're going to run this offense, so nothing's going to change.
When you look back at that 13 season, what was it about the system that you really liked?
I mean, we just all played well together. It was a chemistry thing. I mean, football's the thing that's overlooked so many times is chemistry and the dynamics in the locker room, the team, and just playing together, executing, making plays after the catch, and then obviously like the defense playing well, special teams, just the whole atmosphere. And that's such a big part of this. You just get into a rhythm. I think the key is just getting into a rhythm, getting completion, staying inside the chains, and then obviously putting points on the board. But it all goes down to rhythm and playing for one another. It's actually just that simple. You just got to get to that point. And, it's hard to get there, but that's where it starts in the locker room. It starts with that chemistry.
What do you think? When you hear the naysayers who say that with Carson, so goes the Eagles' Super Bowl chances, what's your message to them? Because there's a lot of that going around right now.
Yeah, and I mean, that's just part of this game. That's part of what people are going to say. I mean, I'm fully confident in this team. I'm confident in myself. What I'm focused on is today and going out there and, we're focused on this one game. That's it. And that's how you approach every week. You don't look too far ahead, but I'm 100% confident in myself. I've been here before. I've played in the league. I've played for the Eagles before. Like I said before, there's a reason I came back here. I love this city. I love this team. I love this organization. And I love seeing Carson from afar. I mean, I wanted to, being his teammate and helping him. And now this isn't what a quarterback ever wants. You never want to see this happen. But my job is to go out there and lead this team, and I'm fully confident in that.
With respect to the chemistry issue, one of the challenges of a new quarterback is trying to get on the same page with his receivers. How long will it take you with guys like Alshon and guys that you haven't been throwing to?
Oh, I mean, this week, we'll go out to practice tomorrow, and we'll do our practice. We'll do what we do. We'll do our work. I've watched them run their routes all year. I've been able in practice at different times to throw them routes. So you just sort of build that database, and it goes back to I'm not always going to be able to get the reps Carson gets, but I'm always standing behind the play. I'm always watching film. I'm always watching his drops. I'm always doing the drops in the background. So you just go out there, and the rhythm thing is basically just talking to them what they like, how they feel, what we see this week, and it'll come really fast.
What is the hardest part about stepping up into that starting role?
I think the biggest thing, and it's natural, is like you look too much at the big picture. And for me, fortunately, I've been there, and the advice I basically gave myself is literally focus on the moment. And the moment right now is this press conference. Earlier today, it was preparing for the Giants, and that'll be continued on throughout the day. So it's basically living in the moment. tomorrow will take care of itself, and that alleviates a lot of things because preparation is the key to winning. So we have to have a great week of preparation, and that's why we lean on each other. And I'll continue to stress that because this is a team sport. Quarterback's a big part of the team. Carson's a huge part of this team, but I also know there's a great team here, and I'm going to step up because I've been here. I know how to do it. I know how to play this game, and I'm going to count on all the guys around me too.
As somewhat of a follow-up to that, Nick, a lot of Eagles fans haven't seen much of you since that Houston game in 2014. How are you different now as a player, as a person, since the last time people saw you?
I mean, I think with experience and age, you gain knowledge and wisdom. Obviously, life changes, and you just sort of see the game a little more clearly. Even step into the game like the other night, I mean, you're in the fourth quarter, you're on the road, this is a big game, and you really just go back to your training, you go back to your experiences in life, and you know how to sort of live in that moment, to execute the plays, to help your team win. And since that moment in Houston where I fractured my collarbone, I've experienced a lot more experiences in the NFL than I had up to that point. A lot of them great, some of them not so great, but they all go together to create this moment in time. So I'm excited for this opportunity. I'm excited to be a part of this organization, this team, these coaches, these players, these people. And I'm excited to have Carson there with me because I know he's going to be there every step of the way, and that's a big part of it. There's not, it's pretty cool that we have such a great quarterback room that you go through something like this and you're going to, you continue to lean on it. Carson's going to be there every step of the way. Nate's going to be there every step of the way, and that's a pretty sweet thing.
Have you gotten better in the pocket?
What's that?
How have you gotten better in the pocket in terms of awareness?
Yeah, I mean, you just, honestly, it's feel. It's just repetition. It's feel. It's stepping up. It's understanding, like, hey, if you feel pressure, getting the ball out. Sometimes, dirtying a ball in situations is better than taking a sack. So a lot of it's feel, a lot of it's drill work. Coach Flip does a lot of great stuff with us drill work-wise, with our footwork, movement in the pockets, movement on the run. So just working on that every single day helps a lot in the pocket.
What have you seen from Nate? He's gone from practice squad to number 2. What have you seen from him?
Nate's a tremendous player. I'm excited about his future. Really smart, works his butt off. He's got all the tools to be a great player in this league, and he's been there. Like I said, I'm always going to include Carson, me, and Nate. Like that's just sort of how it's been every single day going to work, and we're going to lean on that. I'm going to lean on Nate through his process, and we have the kind of quarterback room that you can do that. So it's really awesome. But he's a tremendous player, and I'm excited about his future in this league.
You mentioned the injuries in the past with this team, and have you noticed that this team has maybe just a little bit extra to it compared to the other ones you've been on, as in terms of resiliency and everything else?
I mean, I've been on some really good teams, and I'm not going to say, in respect to them, this team has that in the sense of guys stepping up, and it's the atmosphere that's been created by the people that have been here, by the coaching staff, by the players, by the training staff, by the equipment. I mean, it's the atmosphere where when a guy goes down, the guys around him lift up that player that has to take up his place. And that's huge because you go into a game with, I just named off an all-star Pro Bowl lineup that, guys have had to fill their spots and guys have done a great job. And the reason is there's guys around to help them in that transition. So the teams that I've been on that have been really good have had that, and this is definitely one of them.
You mentioned the chemistry in 2013. What's your take on 2014 and how that went for you? I know you ended up getting hurt, but before that, there were some struggles. It seemed like perhaps you were getting past them at the point where you got hurt. What do you take from that experience? What was different in 2014?
Honestly, looking back, football's not. 2013 was just sort of one of those surreal years. It's just we were rolling, and then 2014, the games were a little closer. We had to grind them out. There's a lot more character. I remember within the first 8 games, I think we had 4 where we had to come back from behind by 10 plus points, but once again, we were able to, and we leaned on each other, and there was no give up. This team has no give up, and that is huge. To win in this league, you have to be able to play all 4 quarters, and you can never give up, and you have to play to the end, and you can never feel like you're out of it. And that's honestly the great thing about this team is there's never going to be a give up. They're going to play hard every single play, and that's what you want.
You ran a fair amount. You ran a fair amount in 13 and 14. How do you view that part of your game now, several years later, and obviously the zone read is a part of a lot of those RPO plays. Are you still willing to take it if it's given?
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. I mean, we're reading different defenders based on, there's so many different RPOs now. It started out as something really simple, and now it's just crazy what it can do, and it's really fun to do. But yeah, absolutely. And it's just playing smart, sliding. I mean, that's the big thing.
You mentioned that freedom at the line of scrimmage in this system, and then Doug's talked about meeting with Carson throughout the week and giving him input on the game plan. Do you feel like you have more of a voice in this system, whether it's at the line of scrimmage or during the week, than maybe you've had in systems in the past?
I mean, we have a plan. It's not like we're just winging it. So there's definitely a plan going into the games. We're not just going to the games and say, hey, we'll just figure something out. So yeah, absolutely. I think that, meeting with Coach Peterson, I'm going to pick Carson's brain as well. That'll be big because we'll go into a game with a plan in different situations. So we're not just creating on the run.
Nick, you've spoken about 2013, obviously, but that was all new for you, for everyone there. What perspective do you have now that you didn't have the last time you were in this situation?
I think when I was in 2013, when that all happened, I was a young player that had never been in that role. So what comes with that, an example is this interview right here. There's a lot of people, there's a lot of cameras. I mean, it's when you're a young player and that's your first time, you're just trying to get the words out of your mouth. And right now it's just we're preparing, talking about what, you always prepare before press conferences. Well, now it's just sort of, you just come talk. And it's the experience. And that's huge in this league is going to a game with more experience, like the feeling, you know what to expect. Hey, if I do something bad, hey, I've been there, I've overcome this, I've thrown touchdowns, or different looks, different plays. It all goes back to experience. And if you can sort of go back and just trust that and trust your preparation and trust your skill set, you're going to be all right.
Do you feel like you've gotten better then in that regard as to the outside noise, which there was a lot of in the city in 13 and 14? Do you feel like where you've come, you've married, you've had a child since then, that you're better equipped to handle that?
Yeah, and I don't even think going back to then, it was just all new. I don't even think it was that bad. I mean, y'all's questions are fairly easy most of the time. So, no, life changes. Experiences in life, like you said, it like having a child, like that's huge. I get to go home and I get to hug my daughter. I mean, that's the greatest thing in the world. Whereas a couple of years ago, we didn't have a child. And I don't know, just the wisdom, like going in and just playing, and it almost like makes everything more simple, and it clears your brain because, I don't know, you just go out there and play, you let it rip, and I've always been like a gunslinger, just let it rip. So that's what I'm going to do. I'm just going to play loose, count on the guys, lead this team, and there's no other place I'd rather be. That's why I came back here. There's a big reason my wife and I sat down, and the opportunity came to come back here to be in this environment. Obviously, it was for a different role, like I said, when I came here, but I'm ready to step up and help this team win.
And on a different note, Tom Savage and the concussion that he had has put the topic of concussion protocol to the surface. As a quarterback who's had a concussion, I'm curious what your thoughts are on that situation.
I don't know enough about it. I know Tom. He was with me at Arizona. That's tough. But I don't know enough about the whole situation.
Just more about the protocol, and how players generally feel about, the way it is and how it should be.
Once again, I don't have enough information on that. I know as a player, it's a physical sport. Concussions are part of the game, and I know the league is working every single year to make it better and better, and sometimes it's tough. I'm just going to go back. I really don't have enough information. I haven't done enough research on it. I hope Tom just rests up. They do everything they can to, help him get back to, full speed, because it's never fun having a concussion. So,
Thanks.
Thank you. Appreciate it.